In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 things you have to do to get tons of high quality referrals. Number 1 is one that likely many of you won't like because it is, and it's the most important one, be so good they can't ignore you. Add so much value, be such a joy to work with, have an incredibly quality product and service so that people want to go out and tell everyone else about you. Give you a quick example. If you go to a great restaurant, don't you want to tell all your friends? Don't you want to send them business there so they come back and thank you for recommending that restaurant? It's the same thing with you. You've got to be so good that people want to go out and tell everybody else about you, your product, your service, everything about how wonderful it was to do business with you, and then recommend that their friends, colleagues, family do business with you too. But this is not easy. There's a lot of competition. So number 2 is set clear expectations. I see a lot of people that overpromise and underdeliver. And the minute you do that, you've destroyed your referability. So the key idea is you have to set very clear expectations around the quality of your product, delivery, timeliness, communication, follow-up, customer service, everything in the shopping, buying, and owning experience, or as we would call now, in the customer user experience. You've got to look at all the major things that are important to your customers and set exceedingly clear expectations and then consistently exceed them slightly. Under promise and over deliver. If you don't do that, nobody's going to refer you. Number 3 is something I've built my entire career on. 90% give, 10% take. Give so much value, give so much help, be a trusted advisor, do things that are always in the best interest of your customer. Constantly be adding value, helping them. One of the things I do, because I'm a consultant, is I read for an hour, hour and a half every morning, looking for amazing information, ideas, articles, new data that I know my top clients, my A target clients will love and find valuable. Then about once every week and a half, 2 weeks, I will find something spectacular and I will put a little note on it and my comments and send it out to all of the VIP CEOs I work with, people that have hired me in the past and have the ability to hire me again and refer me. I've been doing this for 15 years, and I will send 3 months or 4 months of really high quality stuff. People that when they see my name on the email, they open it up immediately. 90% give, and then every now and then I'll mention I have a new class, a new program, I'm doing more executive coaching, I'm coming out with a new book, and would they be so kind as to take a look at what I'm doing, go to my website, whatever it might be. And you'd be surprised how many times people go, oh, he's doing this new, or he's got this new book, or he's now doing executive coaching, and I get a lot of business and a lot of referrals by constantly adding value and every now and then asking for help. So here's my top 2 favorite referral techniques. And I don't like the word technique, tools. And actually 3. The first one is you have to ask. I mean, you can do an amazing job and hope that people will give you a referral, but as everybody says, hope is not a strategy. So if you want to get more referrals, and high quality referrals, go to your very, very best customers, the ones that you would love to have lots more clients just like them. And when the opportunity arises, ask for referrals. Now, here's 2 ways to do it. The first one is what I call the thank you ask. And that is when you've absolutely over-delivered, you've exceeded your customers' expectations, you've delivered everything you promised perfectly or even a little bit better. And they go, wow, that's amazing. You were incredible. Thank you so much. Immediately, you have to be able to say, oh, it's my pleasure. Actually, the greatest way you could thank me is if you know anyone else that could find value in the products and services I sell, it would be awesome if you could send them my way. I'm always looking for new high quality customers like you. Something like that. That's basically the phraseology I use. And it depends from situation to situation and the relationship I have with a customer. If I know them real well, I'll make a joke out of it. Well, then send me some new customers so I can treat them great like you and they'll be happy. Whatever it might be. But here's the key thing is you have to have that ready to go. Not scripted, but you have to thought through it enough that is the minute someone says, oh, you were amazing. Thank you so much, that you immediately follow up with your very unique and special way to say the best way you can possibly thank me is to send me quality referrals. Now, this one I find really, really interesting. Years ago, I was at a conference of high-level financial advisors, and they brought in some experts on referrals who had run several experiments. And the one they did is that I was most interested in is they brought a whole bunch of people in and they showed them videos of people asking for referrals, actors asking for referrals, as realistic as possible. And then each person had a little dial, and it could go up to 100 positive or 100 negative. And they would watch the video, and as they felt things, they would, felt emotions or stuff, they would turn the dial to positive or negative. So when the salespeople used pushy techniques, the one I think of is they've got, the salesperson's asked one of their key customers to lunch, and during lunch they go, Bob, we've been working together a long time. Have you been pleased with the products and services I've been delivering? And Bob goes, yeah, you do a great job. We love working with you. And then he said, well, then, Bob, what I need you to do is set up lunch with 4 or 5 of the top referrals you can give me, and you and I will go to that lunch together, and I need to give you to give me a really strong referral during the lunch and suggest that they do business with me. Or, Bob, I need you to send me a list of 8 or 10 people that you want to refer to me, and I'd like you to send them an email and set up a phone call for me to talk to them. But basically, it's, I've been doing a great job for you. Now you need to, and I put you on the spot, you need to send me referrals. What is anybody going to say at that? No, right on. No, they're going to say, oh, sure, John, I'd be happy to. And then it never happens. I think we've all been through this. And as the people are watching and that person in that scenario is, Bob, I need you to send me 4 people and set up lunch. It's like negative 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 70. Unbelievable negative response to that kind of a pushy, put them in a corner, put them in a bad awkward situation and force them to give you referrals. Negative 100. When they used this technique, and again, I hate the word technique or this style, and let me give you sort of the framework for it. It's finding a way during the conversation or when you're interacting with your customer to say, do you know something that drives me crazy about people in my industry? Boom, boom, boom. And you tell them and you say, and they go, yeah, that drives me crazy too. And you go, well, if you know anybody that doesn't want to go through that rigmarole, and takes care of you like I took care of you, why don't you ask them to give me a call, or would you refer them to me? In my industry, it is speakers that just have a canned speech. They don't customize anything. They don't talk to the client. They just show up, give the same speech over and over again. I'll do the scenario. Bob, what drives me crazy about speakers sometimes is they come in with the same canned speech. I had one once tell me, you don't need new material, you just need a new audience. Drives me crazy. And the other thing is they waste their clients' money and the audience's time. I mean, the clients brought people in from, shut their business down, brought them in. It's a conference, people from all over the world. And they don't deliver value. Nobody walks out with any notes or a takeaway. There's no change in behavior, no increase in skills. They've spent all this money and time. Then the last one is they're prima donnas. They're hard to deal with. They don't realize that they work for the customer. It's their job to be of service to the client and the audience. Whenever I see speakers like that, it always gives me stress and anxiety because I know they're really letting the client down. And typically the customer will go, yeah, I agree completely, John. I've seen that too. We've hired speakers like that. It's been terrible. And then I'll say, wow, if you know anybody that's about to hire a speaker and you don't want them to go through all that stuff, please have them give me a call. I promise I'll take good care of them for you. Okay, now again, it's not that way. You're weaving through the conversation, but you pick a couple things that people in your industry hate about buying from other people. They hate about the other salespeople. They don't like about their company. You do not want to attack a competitor. But generally, you need to say, what drives me crazy sometimes is when I see X, Y, and Z, or 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those things just disappoint me and the other people in our industry. 90% of the time, your client's going to agree with you strongly because they've been through that. They've experienced that pain of dealing with a poor salesperson, getting bad quality products and services, things that don't show up on time, lack of communication, difficult contracts to fill out. All those things are issues that upset people. And when they agree with you, just say, hey, if you know anybody that that's about to buy what we buy, or anybody you work with in your industry that uses our products and services, please let them know that I won't do that to them. just like I took care of you, I'll take good care of them. I'd love to meet them. Now, if you want to push, do you know any, could you introduce me? I wouldn't do that because, again, it's give value, give value. Let me help those people that you know to make sure they don't go through the pain and suffering of dealing with someone that isn't going to take good care of them. So those are a couple of key ideas around how to get referrals. Lots of high quality referrals. That's not all, but that's some main things that if you focus on the things I just told you about, focus on them really hard and deliver them, you will see a huge increase in the number of high quality referrals to your business. Oh, and one more thing. I wouldn't be living up to my own standards if I didn't say this. If you know anybody that needs a speaker who doesn't waste people's time and money, they're a prima donna, in all seriousness, if you know of anyone that you feel I could help and add value to, please ask them to send me an email. I promise I'll take good care of them. My email is john@johnspence.com.